Coming up next on Inside Education, it was a long-awaited maiden flight for students at BC Rain as the student-built plane took flight. We'll take you to the ceremony in a moment. Also, how safe is your child's school when it comes to the coronavirus? We'll take a look at what the district is doing to ensure a safe and clean learning environment. But first, it's a virtual learning platform that's reshaping the way your child is taught. We'll tell you about this program and how it's making a difference around the district. It's all coming your way next, right here on Inside Education. Hi, and welcome to Inside Education, the show that takes you inside the classroom to show you what's happening in and around Mobile County Public Schools. Thank you for joining me today. I'm your host, Helena Tyler. As we continue to manage through the COVID-19 pandemic, Mobile County Public Schools has maintained a blended learning environment, giving students the option to attend class in person or remotely. The school district has been able to do this through the use of an online learning platform called Schoology. It's used by all students, whether learning remotely or in the classroom. Our Kimberly Dunn now joins us from Sims Elementary School. And Kim, I understand that you've been out talking to teachers and school administrators about the new Schoology platform.
Yes, I have, Helena. And so far, from what I am told by teachers, is they are liking the new Schoology platform. Whether a student decides to continue their studies remotely or in person, this platform is designed to accommodate their needs.
By us streamlining and getting one learning management platform, that's pretty much made it easy for everyone. And when I say everyone, I'm speaking teachers, principals, parents, everyone.
Dr. Lakeisha Brackens is the Deputy Superintendent for Academics with the Mobile County Public Schools. This year, Mobile County, like many other districts nationwide, has implemented the Schoology K-12 learning management system to aid with the blended learning of students.
It tells you what number the two numbers make.
With the Schoology platform, teachers are able to make and keep track of assignments, and parents are able to track their students' progress at a much quicker rate. Teachers say it brings some benefits that will remain useful even after all students have returned to campus.
It's actually a lot easier for me to manage students' individual needs. So I'm able to see their work that they do in Schoology and assign things based on what they need. And I can create folders within Schoology that allow me to differentiate that instruction all from one seat as opposed to running all over the place trying to meet those needs in person.
Here at Sims Elementary, Principal Valerie Johnson says Schoology also provides to teachers the tools needed to manage a virtual classroom lesson, classrooms remotely, and it helps to manage daily assignments.
I think, as we are all well aware, teachers work very hard to deliver quality instruction, engaging instruction to students. But often students lean too much on their teachers, and so Schoology has been a great way for us to encourage kids to really grab hold of that content and the material and take responsibility for their own learning.
And Helena, from what I am told, is that Mobile County Public Schools are planning on continuing with the use of the Schoology platform during this pandemic, as long as they are having blended learning.
Thank you, Kim. To find out more information about Schoology and tutorials, you can visit acp.mcpss.com. Well, now, as you can imagine, keeping Alabama's largest school district connected and online during this blended learning period can be quite a task. Joining us to tell us what's all involved during this is the school district's information technology manager, David Ackridge. David, thank you for joining us today. Tell us, how has the pandemic changed the use of technology at Mobile County Public Schools?
Well, it has made a tremendous impact on learning in the school district as a whole. We've moved from a traditional classroom to remote learning. The first area of pandemic that we had back in March, April, May, we definitely had students at home. We're doing different types of learning on paper and on remote learning. But when we returned back in September, we went totally remote learning, whether the student was at the school or whether they were at home, they were learning the same way. And that's impacted technology greatly from the standpoint of our infrastructure and how much bandwidth and things that we need internally in the school, but also hardware and things like that that we have to get out to the students, whether they stay home, whether they're at school, because they have to have the same equipment. So it's made a tremendous impact, and that impact has come fast, and so the learning curve has been steep, and we have to get it trained fast and get it moving. So it's made a big difference.
And what type of technology is being used by students for remote learning? And to date, what is the total count of hardware and Wi-Fi devices that's been delivered to these schools and handed out to students?
Well, immediately upon the pandemic coming to the U.S. and affecting education, we were bound by whatever technology was available at the time, and it just so happened our vendor had some Chromebooks available in large quantities, and that's kind of how we've standardized using Chromebooks, and those we bought nearly 30,000, and those have been delivered out to all the students, and then, you know, they've been delivered out to the students, and then we used computers from within the school that the schools had on their own inventory. And so all of the students, whether it be getting a computer, a new one from the Chromebook, or the ones that we've delivered out from Windows, those were given out from the school's inventory. We've managed to get one in the hands of every student. And so one of the other issues that we had at home is not everybody has Wi-Fi. So we were commissioned to find a group or a company vendor that could help us. AT&T has helped us with that. We've got 14,000 Wi-Fi hotspots. That's a lot that's been delivered out or being used at home. And it's working very well. I mean, of course, with something this big and this large, you're going to have issues from time to time, but for the most part, it's worked out really well.
With that, David, how do you foresee the use of technology within the public schools once we're all past this pandemic?
Well, that's a really good question, because, you know, one of the biggest things in moving to a different type of learning is the transition or the teaching of professional development for teachers and employees. This pandemic's kind of pushed us to be proactive in learning. The learning has been sped up and it's been mandatory. And so I think that you're going to see the face of learning change. There will be, we are looking at the possibility of maybe going to one-to-one, how that's going to affect us budget-wise and things of that nature. But teachers have learned now, and a lot of teachers have learned that the remote learning is not easy, but it's doable, and they're finding the advantages of it. But I think we're going to see in the future that some students are possibly going to continue to learn at home, some are going to learn at school, or some hybrid of both. But I don't think that we'll go back to the traditional type of learning that we did before, just because we've learned something new and we're finding the advantages and the benefits of having that. And I think we're going to take advantage of it for years to come.
That seems pretty interesting. Thank you so much, David, for being with us today. Well, Mobile County Public Schools Superintendent Cressel Threadgill received a big honor recently as he was named Alabama's Superintendent of the Year. He was presented with the honor at the recent School Superintendents of Alabama Conference in recognition of his leadership, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic. A Mobile native and graduate of LaFleur High School, Superintendent Threadgill has been in education for over 2 decades, serving as Mobile County Public Schools Superintendent since 2018. And under his leadership, the public schools produced televised lessons for students when classes were interrupted by COVID-19 last spring, and has instituted a blended learning plan as we continue to navigate through the pandemic this fall.
I just feel so proud that my colleagues think so highly of me. I just want to thank my team, my administrators, the whole MCPSS family, because without them, none of this would be possible.
I would say this: there's not a better, more committed educator in the state. He's committed to his family, committed to his schools and his teachers, and he's committed to children. He wants children to have a better opportunity for the future. And that's what we need among leaders. So it's thrilling today to have him up on the stage telling his story, and to look out around the room and see all the people who are standing and clapping because he represents the values everybody in this room believes in.
Mr. Threadgill was also recently honored by the Mobile County Commission in recognition of his statewide award. And the Mobile County Board of School Commissioners welcomed one new and one returning member in a swearing-in ceremony recently. Sherry Dillahay McDade is the newly elected board member from District 4, and Dr. Reginald Crenshaw was re-elected in the District 3. Mrs. Dillahay McDade is a longtime educator who served as a teacher and coach at LaFleur High School and Washington Middle School before her retirement in 2018. A graduate of Tolmanville High School and Alabama State University. She was also the first female in NCAA history to be awarded a scholarship on a previously all-male baseball team. Girl power.
I wish to begin by saying that I only have one goal, and that goal is to serve to the best of my ability. I will work faithfully to carry out the policies of the board, supportive of one another and dedicated to the proposition that the education of our children is the sole reason and existence of this board.
But I want to say to my colleagues how I've enjoyed working with you guys. And you notice that you have never seen one instance where we've been on TV fighting amongst each other. Now, we cut up behind closed doors, but when we come out, we all won. And I want to say thank you for that cooperation. I want to say also special thanks to the superintendent, who has done an excellent job in spite of this pandemic we're in.
Dr. Crenshaw, a longtime administrator at Bishop State Community College, was elected to his third term on the school board. Crenshaw was also named the board president for the upcoming year, with District 5 Commissioner Dr. Bill Foster serving as vice president. Mobile County Public Schools has named a new deputy of operations. Ernest Scarborough is a native of the Mobile area and comes to the district with a background in both education and finance. Mr. Scarborough has owned and operated several educational technology companies. He is an accredited business intermediary, and he's also a licensed financial advisor. He also spent about 10 years with a multinational chemical company in various sales and management positions. As Deputy of Operations, he will oversee many of the district's non-academic divisions. And if you elected to send your child back to class, exactly how safe is their learning environment? Well, take a look and answer that question in just a moment. You're watching Inside Education.
Worried about your friend but don't know how to reach out?
You could say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR. It's all good if you think you should check in. Yeah, you should. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
When parents are involved in school, you get more of this and less of this.
Hello and welcome back to Inside Education. Thank you for staying with us today. One of the main goals in the Mobile County Public Schools is to provide a clean and safe environment in which your child can learn. In order to do just that, it takes a lot of hard work and dedication. Mobile County Public Schools custodial staff is going that extra mile to make sure school buildings and classrooms are sanitized and safe for students and teachers. It's the same routine played out repeatedly through the day, spraying, wiping, misting. But it's a routine that is necessary to help maintain the health and safety of schools. Here at J.E. Turner and every public school around the county, Custodians are sanitizing all areas of the building with a cleaner that has been certified to fight COVID-19. Extra attention is given to high traffic surfaces such as door handles, desktops, light switches, bathrooms, and nurses' offices.
We just purchased 94 misters that for every school to making sure that we're disinfecting on a daily basis.
6 feet apart. Social distancing protocols are in place for students in all schools. Hand sanitizing stations have been set up throughout each school building, and water fountains have been turned off. Students are encouraged to bring water bottles to school instead.
Well, we're very conscientious. I think everyone just is very aware of safety and making sure that we're conscious of germs and making sure our kids have everything that they need, as far as sanitizing stations and tables and bathrooms. All of our custodians are spending extra time in those areas. They mark off on each bathroom and let us know the times that they clean those. They go through our nurses station much more often. They're deeper cleaning in each classroom and any area that students may be.
To also help combat the situation, students and staff are not permitted to gather or socialize when entering or leaving the school. In addition, extra nurses have been hired for schools throughout the district to help identify symptoms and guard against the spread of COVID-19. And the school district is also taking other measures to ensure the safety of students by keeping the same group of students together each day with the same teacher. And one of the measures Mobile County Public Schools has taken to guard against the spread of COVID-19 is to turn off its water fountains. This means that students have to bring water bottles from home to stay hydrated during the day. Spire, the natural gas utility for the Mobile area, saw that as an area where they could help out, and the company recently donated 50,000 water bottles to the students of Mobile County.
So we decided that a solution to that would be, how about we provide a take-home bottle that each child could take home and hopefully alleviate some of that stress in the morning by saying, hey, here's a means to meet the need that you have, which is providing some liquid during the day, and maybe it'll make the school day a little bit easier, not having to worry about where am I going to get my water bottles today. And so we just felt like the virus created a need, and we responded to that because somebody from our company said, hey, I've got a child, and this is a pain to have to do this every day. How can we alleviate that?
The first delivery of donated water bottles were distributed at Fundy Elementary, with the rest to be delivered to other schools in the coming weeks. Well, students enrolled in the aviation program at BC Rain High School have finally gotten the opportunity to see their hard work pay off. That's because the airplane they've been working on is completed and ready to take flight. Katie Rona now joins us from Brickley Field, where, Katie, I understand the plane took flight today without a hitch.
Yes, that's true, Helena. And if there ever was a picture-perfect day to take an airplane up for a flight, this would be that day. Today's events began with a short ceremony, and then it was time to take flight.
You all buckled up? Clear front.
Over the last 2 years, students in BC Rain High School's Aviation and Aerospace Academy have been building an airplane. This fall, they finally got to see it fly. About 75 students helped build the single-engine plane under the guidance of mentors from Airbus and VT Mobile Aerospace Engineering. The plane was unveiled recently at Mobile Aeroplex at Brickley Field, and one of the lead mentors for the project took it airborne.
When we got the word that it was complete and finally painted, and here we are today, this is one of the most amazing things that I think that anyone could have ever imagined.
The plane is believed to be the first in the state to be built by high school students. 3 of the students were on hand at the unveiling and actually got to fly in the plane.
At first, I was a little scared because I'm not a fan of heights. So, after we got into the air, it was very calming and peaceful and very relaxing, though, too.
The Aviation and Aerospace Academy at BC Rain is one of 12 signature academies which partner with industry partners to give students hands-on training and prepare them for careers in the Mobile area.
We already know and established that the kids that we're trying to aspire to come to BC Rain are the ones that want to move forward in the aviation program. And the only way that we can be able to produce things that we have seen today is the students that are dedicated, that want to be part of a program of such.
The plane was built in conjunction with Tango Flight, a nonprofit organization that helps facilitate student-led aircraft projects. With its first plane now airborne, BC Rain is turning its attention to building another.
Because this was not an easy project, and it wasn't a cheap project. There's a lot of money and time and effort built into this thing. And the fact that they're willing to continue the program and build more aircraft speaks volumes about BC Rain and the staff and Mr. Mouton and the administration in the school. It speaks very well that they're supporting this program properly, and I like that.
Now, Helena, the students did get the opportunity to make several passes over their school this morning, and as you can imagine, they were greeted with a fanfare of cheers from this BC Rain student body. Some of the other students who worked on this project were also in attendance this morning for the ceremony. And Helena, they told me that they were excited beyond words to actually fly a plane that they helped build. It was an experience of a lifetime.
Well, once again, Katie, we'd like to thank you for that report. Mobile County Public Schools recently recognized 185 students who earned the prestigious AP Scholar designation in 2020. Advanced placement courses allow students to earn college credit while still in high school upon successful completion of the course and accompanying exam. To earn the AP Scholar recognition, students must score a 3 or higher on AP's 5-point scale on 3 or more exams. 4 students, all from Baker High, were named National AP Scholars, scoring a 4 or higher on at least 8 AP exams.
So Mobile County Public Schools has 185 AP Scholars scattered across our 12 high schools. And what we're doing today is we're just traveling from school to school to recognize these students for their outstanding accomplishment on these tests.
Rachel Moore?
It's nice. I mean, AP is a lot of work, and I have to put a lot of work in and studying to do well on these exams, and it's nice to get recognition for all the hard work that I put in. To the teachers, I definitely want to say thank you. All the teachers are so amazing, and they care so much about their students, and that's a big part of the reason that I care so much about school, and a big part of the reason that I've been so successful in my 4 years here at Davidson.
Moore and the rest of the AP Scholars were presented with certificates in recognition of their achievement. Well, coming up after the break, it's the first step to building a miracle in Mobile. We'll tell you about it in just a moment. Stay with us.
Hello, I'm Renee Phillips, your host of Homeroom. Will you join us as we talk with the students, teachers, and staff about all of the great things happening in our schools?
That's right, Renee. Not only are we here to keep you informed about the great things happening in our schools, but to also keep you updated on safety issues.
Our show, Safe Schools, looks at ways to keep your child and our students safe.
Not only are we looking at ways to keep your child and our students safe, but to keep you informed on how to connect with us.
Manténgase informado aquí en Conexión a Padres.
And we also score big from pre-K to high school with MCPSS Athletics.
And then Inside Education puts it all together for you, showing you the ins and outs about news and events taking place across the Mobile County Public School District. We do this to keep you informed. Welcome back to Inside Education. An open field in West Mobile will soon become a ballpark for special needs children, as ground was broken recently on the Miracle League of West Mobile Schmidt Family Park. The park will include 2 baseball fields and a playground specially equipped for children with special needs. The Alabama Pecan Development Company Incorporated has donated more than 24 acres of Johnson Road to the project, and South Alabama Utilities has donated more than 4 acres. Mobile County Public Schools will operate the park once it's completed. The system currently has 2 schools specifically for students with special needs, Augusta Evans Special School and the Callahan School for the deaf and blind. Donations to cover the remaining construction costs are being accepted at mcpss.com/Miracle League. Students at 11 MCPSS middle schools will be learning how to build it better after being selected for an exciting new program. The We Build It Better program is developed by the FlightWorks Alabama and its industry and educational partners. It provides each participating school with a chest full of tools and curriculum specifically designed to help students become technologically and technically proficient in order to become the next generation of aviation and engineering leaders. 11 Mobile County middle schools were selected to participate in the program. The program is being sponsored by the state of Alabama, Airbus, Alabama Power, Amazon Web Services, Mott MacDonald, and Snap-on Tools, with educational support from the University of West Alabama and the University of South Alabama. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Part-time job, full-time hustle, all-time Shiro to all of us. You nurture, we listen. You teach, we thrive. You lift our spirits, but we've got to lay down the truth. It's time for you, our Shiro, to stretch for the stars. A free online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Start saving more for retirement so you can feel prepared and live your life to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
At any given time, trauma can happen.
And how we deal with it.
And how we make peace with it.
Starts with me.
With Project Thrive, I'm taking the pledge.
I pledge to believe and support others experiencing trauma.
Will you join Project Thrive and its team of partners who are working together to address issues of trauma? Take the pledge, take a stand, and let's make Mobile a trauma-informed community.
Sweetheart, gonna give you a hand?
No thanks, Dad. I got it.
Okay. I'm gonna go fix the lamp in your room.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Welcome back to Inside Education. Several Mobile County Public School counselors were honored recently for their excellence by the Alabama School Counselor Association. Among them were two administrators who oversee the system's guidance and counseling programs. Dr. Monica Motley was named Counselor Advocate of the Year, and Dr. Kimberly Walker was Supervisor of the Year. 7 MCPSS counselors have received the Rave Gold Award. It's quite unusual for one school system to have this many counselors receiving awards in one year, which is indicative of the phenomenal work our counselors are doing in Mobile County Public Schools. And that's all the time we have for now. To find out about these and other stories happening in and around Mobile County Public Schools, go to www.mcpss.com, or you can watch us and like us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'd like to thank you for joining us for this episode of Inside Education. Have a good evening. And remember, a well-educated mind can change the world.
My name is Harshini. I'm a junior at Davidson High School, and after graduation, I plan on pursuing a career in dermatology. Currently, I'm taking science classes such as AP Chemistry, Biology, and Human Anatomy, which will help me pursue my career. I feel as though Mobile County is preparing me for my career choice in that they provide rigorous classes that help me think further beyond just what I'm learning. I'm Harshini Cannon, a junior at Davidson High School, and I'm learning today so I can be a leader tomorrow.